We used a powerful AI model to create two intellectual thinkers, an atheist
Hi, I'm an atheist.
and a believer in God.
Hi, I'm a believer in God.
We put these two thinkers in a face-to-face debate to tackle one of humanity's most challenging questions. To judge this debate, we selected 5 different AI models as referees to see which arguments they would evaluate as stronger. Join us and promise not to cheat. The debate begins now. Does the existence of suffering and evil in the world disprove the existence of God?
Suffering in the world is one of the strongest reasons to doubt God's existence. If God is truly all-loving and all-powerful, why would he permit innocent children to starve or allow diseases and natural disasters to wreak havoc? Some argue suffering tests our faith or protects free will. But these explanations fall short. A loving parent wouldn't let their child suffer just to test loyalty. If I ran a lab and let mice suffer to see which would stay loyal, I'd be considered cruel. So why is it different for God?
I don't deny the reality of suffering, but it doesn't prove that God doesn't exist. In fact, without a divine being, how would we even recognize something as bad? When you call suffering wrong, you're relying on a moral standard. But where does that standard come from in a godless universe? In a purely material world, suffering is just a bunch of neural signals. Also, like children who don't understand why parents give them painful vaccines, we may not understand why God allows suffering, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a reason.
The vaccine comparison fails. Vaccines have clear, known benefits, but when children die of hunger, what higher purpose is served? As for morality, we can base ethical decisions on the consequences of actions like reducing unnecessary harm. We don't need a divine source to know that causing pain is wrong. And even if there is a higher being, how do we know it's good? What if it's evil? This is like Plato's question. Are things good because God commands them, or does God command them because they're good?
Goodness and God are not separate. God is the very definition of good, just like roundness defines a circle. As for starving children, just because we don't understand the reason doesn't mean there isn't one. It's like an ant not comprehending why its nest is destroyed to build a hospital. Without God, there's no objective reason to care about others' suffering. You can say empathy is useful, but you can't say it's morally right without an ultimate moral source.
But we can reason morally without divine commands. Do you only avoid torturing people because God told you not to? If so, would you torture if God said it was right? We cooperate and care for others because it's logical, necessary for survival, and morally sound, not because we fear punishment. In fact, religious beliefs have often justified violence.
Evolution may explain our feelings about right and wrong, but not whether they are actually right or wrong. Just like craving sugar doesn't make sweets a moral good. Also, your "what if God said torture is good" question assumes God could contradict his nature, which is impossible. Religious violence isn't proof that religion is immoral, just that people fail to live by their beliefs. Just like cheating scientists don't discredit science.
You say God can't approve of torture, but you admit he allows it now through war, famine, and disease. Your analogy between math, 2 plus 2 equals 4, and morality fails. Math is internally consistent, but moral truths, if defined by God, are subject to interpretation. We refine our morality the same way we refine science, using reason and evidence.
You're confusing deliberate harm with natural suffering. If someone sets a house on fire, it's not the same as lightning striking it. And just like mathematical truths are real and unchanging, so are moral truths, grounded in God's nature. Science can describe what is, but not what ought to be. You can't get morality from facts alone.